I used to work nights at a group home for people with mental illness and impairments. We had a guy, let's call him Ray. Ray stopped participating in reality after his parents were murdered in front of him. The dude was legitimately bonkers. He exclusively drank toilet water because he thought tap water and bottled water was poison. I tried to explain toilet water was tap water, but no dice. I also tried to at least get him to drink the tank water. No luck there either. Apparently, schizophrenia ran in his family, and he took a heaping helping of it, which didn't help his trauma issues. Occasionally, he would start screaming in his room like, "Stop, shut up, or leave me alone," which was accompanied by loud banging on the walls. This mainly occurred at night. We assumed he was throwing stuff at the voices in his head, since his belongings were often scattered. This isn't very uncommon with people suffering from severe schizophrenia. The only evidence of the contrary was we almost found him in bed, and his belongings were on his dresser on the other side of the room, and one time he had a black eye. We assumed he got caught with a ricochet from throwing a baseball he had. He always denied he threw anything, and seemingly legitimately scared every time we came in to check on him. This wasn't what convinced me, though. What convinced me of spirits or energy that can manipulate physical reality was I was laying on the couch watching TV at 2:30 a.m. when all of a sudden the doorbell starts ringing like crazy. Think of strangers getting chased down by Jason, holding a knife, and they are trying to get help type doorbell ringing. It felt frantic almost. I get up and walk over. Mind you, the front door is like 15 feet away, and the door has a huge window built into it. The top half of the door is basically entirely window. As I am walking over, I don't see anyone. I assume it was another staff, so I open the door to see if they left a note or something. Nothing. I go out front, no cars. I thought it was weird, but whatever. I go inside and check it if it was a resident, but they are all still asleep. I kind of brush it off at this point, but as soon as I walk over to the couch, and right as I'm about to sit down, it starts up again. I am fairly freaked out. I walk back over to the door, and nothing again. I double check that the door is locked, and I go back. As soon as my butt hits the couch, it starts again. I sprinted to the door and swung it open halfway, expecting another staff member to be crouched down and laughing. Nobody was there. I started freaking out at this point because it wouldn't have been possible to get away without me seeing, since the walkway to the door was enclosed by two walls of the house for about 20 feet. I only had to sprint 10 feet to the door and can see out the window with one foot. At this point, I'm genuinely terrified. I close the door. The second the door closed, the bell starts going off again, almost taunting me. I locked the deadbolt and ran from the door. This time the bell kept going for a long time. This further drove home the feeling of it taunting me. I turned the living room lights on, the TV off, kept the walkway light on so I could see clearly through the window. At around 3 a.m., the doorbell stopped, and the scratching in the walls and attic started. I spent all night huddled on that couch. I even took a write-up for not getting any nightly chores done. I wrote up a work order for maintenance to check for squirrels and check the electrical. They didn't find any evidence of squirrels, and the doorbell circuit looked okay. That was the only time the doorbell ever acted up, they said. I occasionally hear more scratching in the walls on my shift. I doubt it was squirrels, though, since I don't think squirrels would follow you around to scratch the walls near you. After that, I was a lot less skeptical of Ray. I feel like I should mention that it wasn't the only experience I've had in the 10 years or so of me working in mental health care. It was the first big paranormal experience I've had fully converted me from a staunch, "there's nothing, you are born, you die," back to empty, nothing, atheist, to there might be something else before and after life. The other ones are way more mild. Stuff like heavy doors slamming at night, figures in the wood. One of the group homes was out in the boonies because the residents were risks. Residents interacting with nothing, but getting information they shouldn't know. Mimics. Basically all stuff that could maybe be written off. If you ever want to experience weird stuff, get a night shift job at a mental health facility. So a couple of years ago, I worked at a hospital as security. and part of security duties for the second shift was to lock all the doors downstairs in the basement of the hospital. The type of things down there range from offices, supply rooms, bathrooms, and the morgue. So one night I go down to the basement, which is basically a big rectangle, lock all the doors, and just as I was going to make a right to take the stairs up, I noticed someone walk out of the corner in what looked like light blue scrubs. Take about 5 steps into one of the doors I just locked. They didn't open the door or anything, just walk right in. As security, I couldn't just brush this off because recently we had people steal from the supply room, so I had to check, especially since it was after hours. As I walked up the door, I immediately got goosebumps because this specific door is an automatic locking door that can only be accessed by ID security clearance. I didn't see the individual pull out an ID, which you have to do to get in. You pull out your ID, scan, wait for the green light to pop up, and then the door opens. I literally just saw someone take about 5 steps into the door like it was wide open, which it wasn't. This door automatically locks and closes itself. So I think to myself, well, if somehow someone accessed the door after hours, they aren't allowed to do so. This might be the person who is stealing stuff. If a nurse or someone needs to go to the supply room, they call security, and security escorts them because of stealing incidents. So I pull out my ID, scan it, open the door, and I walked in and saw nobody. Then I opened the closet doors to confirm nobody was hiding, and then immediately got the F out of there because I was 100% sure I just saw a ghost. Later that night, I got a call from the ER department to escort a nurse down to the supply room. I escorted her down to the basement into the supply room, and I told her what I saw. She then shuffled through some boxes in the supply room and pulled out the same exact looking light blue scrubs that I saw the ghost wearing. Except they weren't scrubs. They were the light blue gowns patients wear inside the hospital. So what I saw that night was a patient's ghost walking around the basement. After this experience, I definitely believe in ghosts and the afterlife. To this day, I kick myself for not looking at the cameras at night.